No, it was actually Lanza approached me.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Lanza approached me in St. Louis because they used to do big joint promotions there. AWA would bring top guys in. Charlotte would bring top guys in. Guys would come from Florida. And then the underneath card was the Kansas City guys. I was one of those. And we drove in, and we were the first 2 or 3 matches. So, and I'm jacked back then. You know, this is pre-testing days. I'm young, no injuries. And Lanza comes up to me because he's in the office in the AWA. But he's fixing to jump. He's like transitioning to Vince. And he goes, "Hey, kid, you ready to make a move?" And I said, "No, sir, I'm not ready." And he said, "Everybody's the shits when they start." And I said, "As long as you feel that way, I'm ready." so he started, and this is when, you remember this story, this is when Kurt and Greg Gagne and Vern Gagne went to this exclusive salmon fishing thing in Alaska, and a fish spit a hook in Vern's eye.
Yeah.
And they had to wait for the helicopter to come and get him and stuff. And I remember Kurt going, "Man, Vern didn't even
sell it. Yep.
He just sat there like, you know." So meanwhile, I wasn't officially hired, but Lanza started bringing me to towns. I did TV in Winnipeg. I worked with Larry Zbyszko back what we used to call Broadway back in the day. You'll have to educate your audience on that.
That's a time limit draw.
Bands, we used to wrestle 15, 20-minute draw.
Yeah.
And Zbyszko put me over, like we went and draw, and he led me through the whole thing by the hand. So I've always been loyal to Larry. That's why, like in the, you know, when we were on top NWO days, I involved Larry. I turned Dusty NWO because I never forgot what he did for me. You know how it is. You don't forget the guys who help you. You don't forget the guys who treat you like shit.
Yep.
So, but I wasn't officially hired. You know what, that Bob Geigel, he's such a prick. I was making $50 a night. He owed me $300 for a week's work in Kansas City that I'd already done. But then I had to choose between being put over on ESPN out of Atlantic City or doing a job going out the door in Kansas City for $50. So I chose to go get the win. And he went, "Well, kid, you didn't give me 2 weeks' notice." "Yeah, I gave you 13 days. Sorry." And he kept the money.
Well,
And I remember to this day, I've never felt the same way about him. I always thought, wow. And he's like the president of the NWA. And you're going to take money from a guy who's been in the business a year? Like, I need that 300, bro. What a dick.
Yeah.
What a dick.
Asshole.
No, Harley Race was always cool, but he was always in Japan.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I had to deal with Geigel.
Hey, what was the difference between Kansas City and St. Louis?
Well, St. Louis was a huge market, and they had all the other wrestling companies, TVs came into St. Louis, just like they went everywhere.
Like
but that
at
was
the
the only
Chase.
town. It was like the mafia back then. You don't come to our town.
Right.